Hey guys, my midday whip recap. My trading just didn't go very far today. I picked the right stock to be in, but I got out way too soon, and then I had a few other losers, and it all washed out. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes. Uh, so basically, what I want to point out here, what's going on here in the financials and the bonds. I mean, there is a serious situation setting up right here. We are most likely going to fill this gap today on the financials, and after you've closed the gap, the next support area would be all the way down to 29. So we still have almost double. So we're looking at a potential 3% downside move here in the financials setting up here for the afternoon session. So if you think the markets are going higher, good luck with that. I mean, this is a very dangerous situation setting up here going into the afternoon hours. And see here, TLT hanging out right up here at the high, still above the VWAP. All-time low yields for the 10-year treasuries. If you ever wanted to refinance your property, now's the time to go to run over to the bank and lock in a mortgage today, because you're not going to find much better rates, I don't think. But who knows? In the next couple of weeks, and we might even be getting into negative rates. You never know. Okay, so just some things to look at here. You know, this right here, and then we had the J.P. Morgan CEO talking at a conference around 8 o'clock this morning, and he just came out with comments and talking about how the full year, with these yields being the way they are going to have significant shortfalls in their interest incomes this year. So he came out saying that first thing this morning, and boom. And as you can see here at Benzinga, it's one country after another talking about outbreaks. Boom, boom, boom. And the CDC is coming out basically saying the virus is coming here to the States. It's time to get everybody prepared for lifestyle changes. So basically, there's going to be quarantines here in the U.S. In the coming weeks. So you can see the writing on the walls. It is coming. So those are some things I wanted to mention here, and some things that are happening in the markets. Uh, so let's get to my scans real quick here. Let's see if I got my scan here. Things that are happening today on the put side. The things that are really paying real good today on the put side. Let me refresh it, make sure that's up to date. Yep. Overnights. PNW, MA, big gainers in the overnight sessions, plus they added to their gains intraday. Um, MA lowered their earnings, or lowered their no, Mastercard completely threw out their guidance for the year. That's right. They won't even give guidance for the year with coronavirus. So that's what's causing the big sell off in the Mastercard. Under United Airlines, they actually lowered their guidance. So I took right out of the gate. One second here. Let me turn the volume off here. And if any of you guys, you do have Benzinga Squawk that you can keep in the backdrop while you're trading, and it's you go under in the right upper right corner support chat and just open up Benzinga and hit the watch button, and then you can listen to the audio of breaking news during the day. I don't watch CNBC, but I do keep Benzinga on for the breaking headlines. I've made quite a bit of money off of some of the stuff he's called out. But my trade for the morning was Nvidia. We had a downgrade in Nvidia. Mark called out Micron, and I just don't like Micron as a trader. But there was a much greater substantial downgrade in Nvidia this morning, but Mark never even mentioned it. It was I put a post it in the chat, $930 or $230 downgrade on Nvidia, and so yeah, this one here is by far the main outperformer for the intraday session. Okay, and then you also have some pretty good gains on Boeing puts. Went down with the rest of the markets. Got your MU, and then Tesla. So those are the main drivers today to the put side. And then on the call side, and I took off the above average volume. That's what I typically have for my scan, but I did make things a little bit where I get a little bit more results. Regeneron and Microsoft are the call outliers, and I did have Microsoft in for the overnight, and I did take them off near the open, and I closed near the day highs on Microsoft. Uh, so I was really happy with that trade. But it didn't really matter because my win on Microsoft and my win in Nvidia, uh, my losers today matched every bit of that. So I just throw my hands up in the air and call it quits. I didn't actually lose money, but I didn't actually gain money. Less than $100 one way or the other. I didn't add it up, but that's the way it goes. You know, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. And as a general rule, I don't take swing overnights. I almost took PANW, uh, Palo Alto Networks, because I love it when Kathy and Amy have these positions, and um, they tend to really knock it out on the earnings calls. So, and tonight you do have SpaceX. Amy's got a large position in SpaceX in the overnight session calls. So that's something people may want to think about. I'm still not sure if I want to try it or not in this market environment. Okay. Some of my charts, like on the ESs and stuff, basically, we've come down. We've come down to the this here is the December. This value area will build out in December. So we are right below the volume point of control for last December. So the highest point to do business is right there for S&Ps, and we have what you could consider a we have a Venom line support, we have a touch, and a second touch right here for a potential bottom. Typically, patterns like this, you're going to get a head and shoulders pattern. So you got your right shoulder, and then then you come back up. You got your head, and you come down. So typically, we should probably get a lower shoulder here before we actually turn over. So basically, this is the area that you would hopefully find that, but that's no guarantee. Down here is the actual next Venom line support. So that's kind of what I'm thinking they're trying to do here is push down to this Venom line, and then we're going to get a lower right shoulder, and for a relatively same depth on the shoulder. But if we come down to here, we're going to come roll back over and have a lower right shoulder on our head and shoulders. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at here on that. Okay, give me a second here. Let's see here. My mind's not working today. Cues. Basically, this entire move upward, it broke out right here. And we had this massive move started back in first of well, it actually started back in July or January 27th. That's when this move started. We had a back test down here. So now we got the double back test here on the move. This is what all analysts have been looking for a significant bottom for any type of resolution to the upside. And keep in mind, we have had one heck of a move already this week, which can continue. There's no question about it. But this is kind of an area where buyers would normally show up to the long side here. So just keep that in mind going forward here. This down here is a monthly support area on the Qs. I'd much rather be tagging that, but we'll see what happens here going forward. Semiconductors are really looking horrible here, so tech is really taking it on the chin. Okay. And despite the fact I thought Russell was catching some accumulation yesterday, they just completely destroyed it today. We've come down to the November. This was a value area built out in November of last year, and we've come down, trading slightly below the VPOC, monthly VPOC on that one right here, right now. So basically, the trading range now, it could actually come all the way down to the 182.20 area, something like that, 182 or 184.20 area. That would be coincide with the November trading range. So just keep that in mind going forward. Since we have broke below the volume point of control, it's a little bit more problematic that it's going to go further lower here. Okay, and let's see here. Let's check out our diamonds real quick. Give me 1 second. Diamonds. I had pointed out these venom lines this morning that we were trading below this venom line. Well, we completely broke through the venom fan, the fib fan. We completely broke away from that fib fan, and now we are trading below a secondary fib fan as we speak here, suggesting even further downside pressure going forward here. So keep that in mind going forward here on our diamonds. We don't have any type of 1 second here. Yeah, see, we're kind of in free fall here on our diamonds. You see what I'm talking about here? We do have a secondary weekly. Yeah, we broke that too. Oh man, this is looking horrible. A little bit horrible here. Let's see if I can go out my daily 1 year and see what we got going on here. Man, I don't see any type of support at this range. So, basically, yeah, we're gonna have to come all the way down to here on the diamonds. So, and that would be coincide with this breakout on the diamonds. So it looks like we've got another 260 some points to the downside on the diamonds to finish the breakout pattern, which like we have on the Qs. So just keep that in mind going forward here, that the pattern does not look completed at all here. So lots of downside risk in my opinion. Basically, I traded NVIDIA this morning on the significant downgrade today, and I tried MU too, and I locked in a little bit of profit on Micron, but the trades were just not moving fast enough for me. And if I had held it longer, I would have been really underwater before it finally decided to completely and totally tank in my face. And I am so upset how much that I missed on this trade. Basically, I got this right out of the gate, and I got this right out of the gate down in this area, and it went against me on the NVIDIA, and it just completely and totally. I sold it down around here. Well, yeah, down around here somewhere, and it just completely and totally fell apart on that downgrade at $230 a share, and went right through. I just was trading it to this line right here. That was my plan. I didn't even hold it that long, the way the price action was happening. And boy, talk about one heck of a trade today if any of you guys in the room managed to get this. So it's I'm kind of upset. I only got 1/4 of the move, and I could have reaped some really good rewards on that trade if I had realized. That's the way it goes, though. And I thought Salesforce was going to catch a bid into the earnings tonight. It looked like it was setting up really good here earlier today. Which time frame was that? I think I was on the 5 minutes. Yeah, it looked like it was going to, right here, it looks like it was going to rally and settle in up here at the 288 area. Well, then the markets completely and totally fell apart, and largely due to the financials. Okay, and so keep that in mind. The financials are under serious pressure here, and that's it brought everything down with it. So let's see here. 1 second. Let me see what my other trades were. Okay, next thing here. Mark was calling out Home Depot around this area right here. Yeah, around this area right through here, I think. He was calling out Home Depot to the long side, and I thought it was going to go to 245 area, and all of a sudden I started seeing some selling pressure. So I got out real quick, and it just so happened the financials were started falling apart about the same time this all broke down, and all the markets came down with it. So I had to take a small loss on this as I saw my as this, I saw the trade starting to the spreads really starting to widen up on the downside on that trade. Everybody in the room was looking at Apple to the long side, I believe, for the one and done this morning, and I would have to agree. Microsoft and Apple both looked like that they were wanting to migrate higher this morning, and this was before the financials were giving us the major warning sign. We were actually getting some selling pressure in the bonds at that point in time. So I actually thought Apple was going to go up to the 309.10 area on the open, and I did have to take a small loss on Apple before I actually. But the one and done early trades, I was doing half lots today, so that did help me quite a bit on that trading. Okay, the dollar did manage to come back in. I had to my toss crashed on me, so I just finished my video off doing this here. That's a good sign. We did manage to come back in with an inside trend on the Dixie, suggesting some of this central bank stimulus out of the Fed. It's still keeping the dollar fairly stable here. A massive breakout to the upside on the dollar would be very, very bad for U.S. equities, in my opinion. So just keep that in mind going forward here. Basically, I gave you a rundown of what I've done today. I just cut the video off short here. Pretty much, I'm all cash again, and I will reload tomorrow. I might take some Salesforce calls tonight. I'm really thinking about it, and maybe one SpaceX call because Amy's in it. So we'll see what happens and go from there. Good luck and good trading, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning.